Auction time. This is the I series auction 3I01. This is a raw Georgia chert biface. I have the beginnings of this on video, but I said I was going to finish it off camera. So this one is it. This one's right at 7 inches by about 2 3/8. A little bit under. All right. Sharpened all the way around. I didn't thin it down too much because I didn't want to break this one. I have a limited amount of large pieces to make these blades with. Alrighty. Nice and translucent. I like working with it. If it doesn't give me any fits, it started to dive right there. Other than that, I don't see any other little mishaps. Yeah, sharpened down here, sharpened everywhere. Okay. 3I02. This is, again, raw Georgia chert, but it's got a little bit more of a swirly pattern in there, which makes it a little bit less easy to nap. I noticed that the swirly stuff is less easy to nap than the butterscotch stuff. Still the same material. You can still heat treat it. This one is raw. You can heat treat it if you want. If you want to change the color of it, it changes to a darker color. This is a heat treated swirly thing. So you can see the difference if you wanted to change the color. Or I don't know why you would want to heat treat it. Maybe you wanted to nap it down further. Anyway, let's see. How long is this one? 6 1/2 by 2 5/8. Yeah. Some guys will nap these down into different types of points. If you wanted to heat treat it, it'll make it easier to nap, but not all that much easier. Okay. I took this piece up to 500 degrees, and it naps easier, but not that much easier. You know, it doesn't become like glass or anything. It looks like it's nice and shiny, but it's still a little bit on the tough side. Anyway, just for FYI, there was an issue here with a big old step that I was barely able to knock out with a couple of strategic flakes here. Well, maybe this one helped too. I did this one last night. I was kind of tired, so I don't remember exactly. Still a mass up on this side. See how it's still got a mass right there? But I didn't want to mess with it. I could have shot another flake right there. But I said, nah, it's okay. 3I03. This one I did on video. The whole thing. Yeah, it's a Salutrian style. So you can see this whole thing on video. Recent video, obviously. Now there's some debate whether it was held like this as a knife or used as a spear point. It's sharp on both sides. Okay, so I tend to think it was held like this, like I held it in the video, as a knife in this direction, with this as the business end. But it could have been a two-headed knife where you can use both ends. Or a spear point. I mean, it's not unreasonable to think it's a spear point. It's just rather delicate. These things are thinned down a lot, these Salutrian blades. Mine is not as thin as the best Salutrian blades out there. Okay, so it's kind of a reproduction. Let's see. This one is 6 7/8 by 2 1/4. And the thickest, let's do this in millimeter. So let's see, this one is 56. And the thickest part is like 10 millimeter. It's almost 6:1. Almost. It's between 5:1 and 6:1, which is my usual. Okay, I didn't want to push my luck. Solutreans are thinner than this. They're like 8:1 or something, or better. The best ones. Not all of them are really, really thin, but the best ones are. Okay. 3I04, little Cahokia point that's on video. Flint Ridge. Heat treat. Completely on video. So you can have a better look. If you look back, very recent video. .3I05. Also on video. This is Georgia Jasper, raw, I believe. If I remember correctly, it's a raw piece of Georgia Jasper. Just out of curiosity, I will weigh it. 64 grains. The Cahokia, 50 grains even. 50 for the Cahokia. So yeah, I like this material. It is kind of tough to knap because it is steppy, but it gives you a nice flake contour. You know, they show up well. The flakes show up well on this stuff. Okay. .3I06. This one I did completely off camera, practicing for Cody points. Right, I was going to make a couple of Cody points for this auction. I ended up only with this one, and I had issues with it down here near the stem. So what I did was I shortened it. It was a lot longer, and it also got kind of steppy up here, like that one right there. That's a mistake. It started off pretty wide. You got to practice these collateral flakes, so you know I have to practice up on those. I don't always get them right. See, they stop sometimes, and it's hard to create a median ridge down the middle if you don't have a lot of practice. So they start out pretty wide, and then they had to get really narrow. But it has kind of like it has a diamond cross section, sort of. Yeah. And the stem probably should be a little straighter, but I didn't want to mess with it. So I just left it. Okay. A little over 3 5/8. Nice and translucent. Inch wide. Let's see. .264. So yeah, I guess if you wanted to mount it to an arrow, you could, but it's an atlatl dart point, as far as I know. All right. .3I07. It's an obsidian or dacite. It's obsidiacite. I don't know. It's a gray type of dacite. It's like gray butter. It's like the black butter stuff, but it's gray. It naps extremely well. This one's all on video. All right, not much to say about it because it's all on video. Let's see, 2 3/4, a little over 1 3/4, and let's see. .226 grains. It's big for an arrow, huh? There's some guys that shoot 250 grain arrow tips. But anyway, I thinned it down as much as I could without risking it. You know what I mean? I don't know what the ratio is. Let's see. How many millimeters? 48 by 5. It's like 9-to-1. Yeah, 9-to-1. All right. 3I08. Another video point. This one is Stockton style because it's a little bit large for actual Stockton, but it's a Stockton corner notch, as they call these. The real ones are like 2 inches long. This one's 3 1/8. Yeah, the real ones are not this large. Maybe 2.5. I don't know. 65 millimeters. What's that? Yeah, 2.5. I think 65 millimeters was the longest dimension on projectilepoints.net for this style. So this is a little bit large. But anyway, I had a large piece to begin with, so I didn't want to waste it, right? Yeah, you can see it all on video. I didn't do any modifications to it after. Sometimes I'll do modifications to these after the video. Did I weigh it? No. You know, sometimes I'll sharpen these up or whatever after the video. 298 or almost 300 grains. Yeah, I'll let you know if I modify these after the video. This 3 1/8 by 1 5/8. Let's see, 40 millimeter by 6. It's almost 7-to-1. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is black butter obsidian, or black butter dacite. It's the black version of that buttery dacite or obsidian stuff. I guess it's all from Owens Valley, California. That particular batch I was working with. Okay, 4 pieces in this one item number, 3I09. 4 pieces, 4 blades in this one item. All right, I think I have this one on video. I think this is a rework. This is the rework I did on video. I did this on video, but I trimmed it. Same with this. I did this on video, but I trimmed the bottom here. And this one's not on video at all. I did this on as a side thing. I wanted to see what stone this was. I had a nodule of it, and it turned out to be a Sonora type chert. It feels like Sonora. Now, it could be a Texas chert that's very similar to Sonora chert, but it naps just like Sonora chert. But yeah, it could be a Texas. It could be some sort of Edwards Plateau high quality raw stuff. But it's tough, you know. It's not that easy to nap. It does flake very well when it wants to, right? It has these little pockets in it. That's just a translucent pocket. Okay, it's not a defect. You can nap right through it. All right, so this one is on video. I trimmed and I sharpened it. This is going to be like a Salutrian or a beaker dagger. They're not related technologies, but they look similar. Let's see. Yeah, I sharpened it all the way around. This one, I think I sharpened it on video. This one, I don't think I sharpened it on video. I made sure it was sharp, and I made the bottom end more pointy, I think. And this one's sharpened. These are not perfect. I could have done it a little bit better. All right. 4 1/4 3 3/4, 5 1/4, and 2 3/4. Okay. Oh, so this is either a Texas very dark, almost black chert, or a Sonora chert. This one is butterscotch, Georgia, Flint River butterscotch. This one's a Texas high quality raw, Edwards Plateau chert. And this one here is, it's in the video. I forgot what this is. Yeah, actually forgot. I don't know if it's a heat treat or a raw. I think it's a stone to point. Right, I had a nodule. So I think this is raw Texas chert from somewhere. Okay. Obviously from somewhere, but I was going to say a name, but I can't remember exactly if I got it locally or nearby or where I got it, so I can't say. All right. Next, 3i10. These are 3 obsidian blades, refined blades or bifaces. This one's completely on video. It's got a little bit of layering in it, so it does affect the flaking somewhat. The lava must have flowed in several different flows, so because you got layers. See those? They're bonded together very well, but it does affect the flaking somewhat. But yeah, you can see this all on video. Now this obsidian, I think it's Owens Valley, California. I hope I spelled that right. 2 gray dacite blades and 1 layered obsidian. It's a video point. Okay, these are gray dacite, very buttery type of dacite, very high quality stuff. I had 2 spalls that were kind of wonky, so I reduced these down to bifaces. I was going to just offer the spalls as part of a box of this dacite, just as spalls and flakes, but I decided to knap them down because I like knapping it. Yeah, I actually like knapping this stuff. Okay. And this is translucent around the edges, kind of grayish. These are not, well, they are too grayish. I spoke too soon. I didn't know they had some little bit of translucency around the edges. All right. So this one is 3 5/8 by 1 5/8. 3 5/8 by 2 1/8. 3 1/2 by 1 7/8. Okay, all 3 under the same item number. All right. Here come the boxes. 3i11. Okay, raw Georgia jasper. All right, so this is a box of a bunch of jasper pieces, bifaces, or partial brokes, and flakes. All right, this is all raw stuff. Just spalls. So they range in size from this size to this size. Gives you a good range to work with. Now this one here, this has got nice stuff on this side, but on this side it's kind of dicey, as you can see. It's got a crack right there, but it does not go all the way through. So if you're good, you might be able to get through that crack. I'll just include it anyway. This one I knocked down. It was a kind of a really rough piece, so I knocked it down so it'll be reasonably high quality. This one, it's got a defect in the middle, but it'll give you an idea. You can practice on this one maybe. This is a broke. I don't know if that's the other part. No, this is another. I don't know where the other piece is. I don't know where the piece went to that one either. Probably chucked it in a box of smaller, chunky stuff. All right, so that's it. This will all fit in there. Usually it's about 2.5 pounds of stuff when I get these boxes, these small priority flat rate boxes, completely full, it's about 2 pounds 11 ounces to 2 pounds 14 ounces. If it's a really dense material, I can get 3 pounds in here, right? But it's usually not that dense. This is a heavy stone though. Anyway, all right. Raw Georgia butterscotch, Flint River chert. Flakes. Flakes. Raw flakes. Bunches of raw flakes in various sizes. Most of these are more than 2 inches. Where's the smallest one? See, that's 2 inch. I think this is one of the smallest pieces I have. Okay? And they range from this to this. Kind of thick and chunky to thin and flat, small. All right. This box is really, really full. This is actually a piece of swirly chert. You can heat treat the butterscotch to 400 and it'll nap well. The swirly stuff requires a little bit more. It becomes red on the outside like this when you heat treat it. When you break into it, it'll become more glossy, and it stays the original color on the inside for the most part. Although the heat discoloration does go in a little ways into the stone, and sometimes it stays like on thin flakes. If you heat treat a thin flake, sometimes the red goes all the way through. It doesn't do this. You can't peel off the outer layer. It's red all the way through sometimes. Okay. So yeah, it's just a bunch of flakes. Okay. There's various sizes in here. And a lot of these flakes came off during some of the videos that I just did. So you can see some of these flakes being removed if you're that observant. I don't remember which flakes were in the videos, but a lot of these are from the videos. In fact, I think all of these are from the videos. Yeah, I'm going to have a hard time getting all that to fit in here, but I'll cram it all in. All right, so that one was 3i12. Right, yeah, I forgot to post that in the beginning of this one. All right. Let's get the number correct here, or in the front. 3i13, various Texas heat treat. And there's one broken biface heat treat. As far as I know, it's a heat treat. Now, some of this is from my old stash of heat treat, and some of it's new stuff. All right. It's all should be medium to high quality raw heat treated, so it becomes medium to high grade heat treat. All right. Should be all medium to high grade heat treat of various Texas cherts. Some of them are not so good. Like this one probably is not high grade. This might be a lower grade. I just threw it in there to give you an idea what the lower grade is. This is a high grade. This is a high grade. Yeah, this was sitting in my yard for a while. Should nap well. Yep. I know this stuff does. And it's got a little bit of cortex. These range in thickness. Some of them are a little bit curved. So just bid accordingly. They're not all big flat flakes. Some are chunky, some are really thin. They're all various. Some have cortex still on them. That's a high grade right here. It's the same stuff as this. This should be high grade as well. Still have a little bit of leaf debris. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these have translucency once you get them thin. All right. A little bit of root beerish looking stuff. Various Texas church, mainly from Central and West Texas. All right. All right, now let's see. 3i14, a box of heat-treated swirly Georgia chert flakes. These range in size. They're kind of small and thin to these larger ones. Okay. Various sizes. These are the heat treats from yesterday. I just took them out this morning. They were cool this morning. Cool enough to take out, look at them, and test them. This came from that batch. I tested it. Everything's A-okay. Alright. It's just a box full of these flakes. Small to medium sized flakes. 3i15. This is same stuff, except I got a couple of bifaces or whatever in here. Yep. I tested this one. Nice and glossy. Yep. Nice and easy to nap, or easier. So the rest of these, I tested some of these just to make sure, because they're on the thick side. I usually test the thicker ones, and that one came out good. This one is good. It's going to be steppy though. Just be careful on some of these. And that one's really, really thin and Cortex, so it's got a limited space to use for your Arrowhead. This is a little more chunky. So these are what I call medium-sized flakes, and there's some smaller ones mixed in. And if there's more room in the box, I usually try to fill up that space with the smaller flakes. Okay. Oh, 500 degrees. I should have mentioned that earlier. All these Georgia swirly cherts are heat treated to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. 500. I'll put that in the description, in the comments or whatever. Okay. Last but not least, 3i16. This is a box of large flakes. They're all large flakes. How large, you might want to ask? This one's 4. This one is 6, but you have to be an expert to get a full length blade out of that one. But it's a nice one. This one is more like a spall than a big flake. This one's 5 1/4. Nice and thick. It's about the biggest I can get in here. 1 1/8 inches. It just barely fits in this box. You know what I'm saying? To the height of it just barely fits in. And this one says 450. So these bigger ones are heat treated to 450. The small and medium sized flakes are heated to 500. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'll write it in the description or in the comments, my pre-populated comments. I'll put the temperature of the heat treat. These are 450. I guess I'm going to include this one in here too. It should fit. Yeah, this one should fit in here somewhere. I'll cram it in there, get it in there somewhere. Okay, but this one's a 500. All right, so this one's 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and the other ones are 450. Okay, I usually do that with big chunkers, I heat them to a lower heat than the smaller or thinner ones. All right. Rules. Please bid in the comments section under one of my pre-populated comments showing the item number and a timestamp where you can see where the item appears in the video. I will like your comment if I see it. So your bid is your comment is your bid. I will like it if I see it. It's important. Because if I don't like it, I might not see it. I might not have seen it. That's why you don't see a like on it. So pay attention to if I like it or not. Now, sometimes it takes me up to a few hours to check on the auction, especially in the beginning. But as time gets closer and closer to the end of the auction, I'll check a lot more often. And if there's a problem, you can email me or just comment, hey, do you see my bid? All right. Auction ends at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, 6 Pacific. It ends, okay, tonight. It's not a live auction, all right? Try not to bid at the last minute. I'm using YouTube's time tracker of the comments. It's not always accurate. Yeah, it can be up to about 2 minutes off, all right? So just be aware. If you bid at the last minute, sometimes YouTube will say you're too late. And you and I both know you bid on time, but YouTube says you didn't. I got to go by YouTube time, so just be aware of that. Why do I go by YouTube time? Because that's what everybody sees. Everybody sees it when you bid. And if you bid late, according to YouTube, they're going to say, hey, you bid late. It doesn't count. So yeah, it doesn't count. All right. Time tracker, let's see. Shipping is free in the U.S. International shipping is not free. I'll add $20 for a first class package. I'll add $30 for a small flat rate box. All right. The shipping prices for international have gone up. Yeah. I think they're still pretty steady right now, but they went up over the holidays. So this is the change that came about during the holidays. This is not the full price of international shipping. It's higher than this. I still give you a bit of a discount on shipping if you're international. Like for instance, I think first class package is $28. And I think a small flat rate box is like $40. International shipping to most places. I think Canada is slightly cheaper. All right, I will provide tracking numbers. I accept PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, check or money order. I can send you an invoice to your email that you can pay with a card. You just click the link, open up what's going on, and then you can see where you can enter your card information in the invoice. In the link to the invoice. Okay. Winners will be announced starting at 9:01 p.m. Eastern or 8:01 my time. I'm Central right now. It starts at 1 minute past because I give everyone a chance to bid at the last minute. I look and I see when you bid. You know, and but I still use YouTube time. But I'll start announcing the winners by cutting and pasting this little message: sold, item number, and price, and blah blah blah. Okay, I cut and paste that, and I start with item number 1, and then go down the list. I can't do every one all at the same time, so it could take me up to 20 minutes or 30 minutes from the time I announce the first item on the list to the time I announce the last item on the list on the auction. So just be patient. If you don't, you can just keep watching. Sometimes, like I said, it takes me up to 30 minutes to get to the last item in the auction because I had to contend with sometimes slow internet speeds. Sometimes everyone's blocking or taking up the bandwidth and stuff. Sometimes YouTube is quirky and I can't refresh it, and it doesn't give me the latest bids. All these weird things happen. Okay. There's a more complete description in the rules in the description box below. If you have questions, please see the previous auctions or email me at jackcrafty2@gmail.com. All right, just if you have my email and information, you can email me at any time. I will check the emails. Sometimes, if you're having trouble with the auction, posting a comment on YouTube, chances are your emails are kind of messed up too. I've had that happen where a person was trying to bid, couldn't bid, and he sent me 2 or 3 emails. I didn't see any of them. So check your connection at your end. Drive to a different place that has better Wi-Fi if you have to. I don't know. Anyway, just be aware of that. And yeah, I know YouTube isn't set up for this kind of thing, but it's not too bad. All right, and so far so good. Just look at the previous auctions; they've been pretty good. And if you don't know what to do, just look and see what happened in the previous auctions. I got a lot of them. All right, I hope everyone had a good weekend, and good luck with the auction.